and the fun just never stops. You know, one of the hardest things to do whenever you're making YouTube videos is the narration, because it kind of feels like you're just talking to air. And it's kind of awkward. You don't want people seeing you do it. I don't know. Unless you're making money doing it, then you're more than enthusiastic to get out of your comfort zone a little more. Another thing is that you also don't really want to, if you're doing something like this, you don't necessarily want to call it a how-to video unless you're really a, you know, certified mechanic and all that, not just some guy trying it out, like kind of like how I do. So you know, always recommended to take it to a professional if you want things done right, especially something like brakes. But if you do it right, you can do it yourself. Alright, I need to get this thing off. Go up to the auto parts store, get the new one, get this over with. I think the new one comes with a new bolt, but usually they're not as high quality as the factory one, so if it's not stripped or anything, just reuse it. And on this particular brake caliper, it's to 19 millimeters in the back holding it on. What happens to a caliper when it gets old is the seals go out and it starts using brake fluid and just starts seeping out. Usually doesn't even pour out, but you'll notice your brake fluid being low every once in a while. Yeah, this caliper was definitely leaking. You can see the buildup and just the general crappiness. And of course, I'm going to reuse these old brake pads because they're perfectly fine. And then these are Brembo standard flat rotors. The original rotor, these rotors are kind of small, and the OEM ones are garbage. These things are nice. Probably have like, I don't know, 70,000 miles on these things. They're great. Alright, now time to pop out the old pads and then get to the auto parts store. This rotor cost 50 bucks new, and core charge is 45. I've already done the other side. I didn't make a YouTube video about it because I was pissed off that day. Did not feel like working on a car. It's finally nice outside, so now I can do this. The next step is putting your old pads back in the new caliper, because these pads have a lot of life left in them, and they wore evenly with the bad, even with the bad caliper. Just pop in the new brackets, and you pop in your old pads, and then you're ready to go. So it came with 2 new washers for the brake line, and those things actually create a seal. They actually mash down a little bit. They squeeze down, and it creates a good seal. Let's go ahead and use the new ones. Alright, now that this bullshit's over with, time to bleed the brakes. Okay, the final step is to bleed your brakes. I bought one of these Harbor Freight brake bleeder things, and it worked pretty good for the other one. Only bad thing about them is it comes with these crappy plastic fittings that don't work very good, but I don't know how many times you can use them before they screw up. Okay, here's how I do it. I'm not a professional, but here's how I do it. Get it on there, get some pressure going. get some pressure going here, you know, like, you know, to get some pressure going a little bit, right, you know. Then you loosen the valve. Then you'll see air bubbles and fluid go through there. You just wait till the air bubbles stop. Probably have to do this a few times, maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times.